Hello and welcome to this week's episode of the Girls Like Hoops podcast. I'm Tori. I hope you guys are having a great week. I know what you're thinking. I know you're thinking, Tori, why are you 2 weeks behind on these podcasts? And you know what? That is such a great question. And I know what you're thinking. Tori must have the perfect excuse. I don't. I really don't. I don't think anybody starts the week off like, how can I come up short this time? You just do it. And I did that. I did. I'm going to be honest with you. I've been struggling because I'm just ready for the playoffs to start, okay? Me having this job and, really needing to be an adult, it's really holding me back from greatness. You know what I mean? And so at this point, I think we just have to grin and bear it until, I'm going to try my best to make sure that this week's episode gets up this week and that we catch back up because I am very much determined to catch up this week. However, y'all know I be goofing. So honestly, at this point, just pray for me. So this week, we're just going to be discussing the events in women's basketball that happened from August 30th to September 5th. First of all, we have to discuss Unrivaled and the two players who got announced that week were Rickea Jackson and Dijonai Carrington. Honestly, really excited to see Rickea Jackson play. It's going to be really great. Dijonai Carrington, I think, has really made some big leaps this year and really improved as a player. So I'm excited to see how 3x3 kind of changes her game and kind of helps her in the regular season next season. So we have some good things to be looking forward to, and we're just going to get right into the games, Oh yeah, I'm supposed to be talking about the other stuff. A little housekeeping. Okay, I already apologize, sort of, kind of. Okay, next sticky note. Housekeeping. There's a Twitter page where I tweet some of the games live. I actually went to the Lynx versus Dream game last week, so that was really cool, and we'll discuss that in the next episode. There's a Twitter. It's called Hoops Like Girls, so go follow that if you're interested. I be over there yapping. There's a TikTok where I do cover some of the live games that happen. And, other thoughts like Kathy Engelberg, and the stuff she said the other day. Wow, something to unpack. And you know what? Go ahead and go on Spotify and vote on the poll question. Get in the comments, chat, share, send some good thoughts. I do want to sit here and really, I have to say this time. I want to thank you guys so much for listening to this podcast. I have been fairly inconsistent lately. And so to the people who are sticking around and listening, because actually the listens on the last episode were quite good. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I want to be better. And then it's I come home and I be sleepy and I'm like, gotta go on TikTok live. And then I go and do that. And by the time those lives are over, I'm like, girl, let me be a responsible adult and go to sleep. I'd be like, let me watch some games. And sometimes the games don't get watched. I'm not even gonna lie. I am 2 weeks late, but did all these games get watched? No, ma'am, they didn't. They really didn't. And like I said, I want to be better. I want to be the girls who like hoops. I want to be the perfect podcast host, but you know what? Sometimes we all slip. It's like in life. Sometimes we all slip and we come up short and you just have to hope that people are going to give you grace. And so, guys, I apologize and I will try my best to be better this week. I can't make any promises because I be sitting here making promises and then I don't deliver. So I'm not even going to do that this time, but I'm going to try my best. This is the last week of basketball too until before the playoffs. So I think that this is going to be a really great pivotal week for me and we'll try to turn things around. Anywho, let's get into the games from August 30th. On that Friday, we had 4. The first was Fever versus Sky. Lovely little game. The Fever won. Yeah, I actually watched this one. Okay. I watched it, but because, I'm 2 weeks behind, I recall nothing of it. The Fever beat the Sky 100-81. Damn. Anyways, there was no Kennedy Carter. I think this was when she was out sick. But getting into the Sky, Lindsay Allen, some key takeaways. Lindsay Allen was really cooking this game, and she was, honestly. She had 19 points, 6 assists, 4 rebounds, 1 steal, shot 6 of 9 from the field, and went a perfect 3 of 3 from the 3. You can't ask for too much more than that. I felt like the Sky started the game off really well, shooting wise, of course, with good ball movement. And then I think things just kind of started falling apart a little bit. I think some of the commentators actually mentioned during the game that Coach Witherspoon had mentioned wanting to play the bench more and giving the starters more rest so that, they're ready for like those end of the game moments when they need that extra energy. And unfortunately, when she took the starters out, like later on in the game, it resulted in the Fever like getting back in the game and eventually taking the lead and winning. So honestly, again, like this is a rebuild team. So like I'm never going to be too judgmental about what they have going on. At the same time, I do have to be I have to analyze it just a touch. But I think next season is going to be really interesting to see what this team does, honestly. I think next season, if they make the right moves in the offseason, we could definitely potentially see, maybe them make the playoffs, get that 8th, 7th spot or whatever. And I think I heard that Angel Reese is going to be this summer in the offseason practicing with Nafisa Collier. So that's going to be really great. I really do think like once Angel is able to like really produce like offensively, like we're going to be looking at a very different player, and I'm really excited to see her growth as well. Like, because when you think about it, people like, I've said this before, people talk down on like the rebounding and stuff like that, but like getting your team like a second chance or a third chance or a fourth chance to take another shot or to get a better look or for you to like be able to put the ball back up there is going to be very, very pivotal like in the future. And like even like Camilla coming around and, getting those rebounds and like producing a little bit more offensively and way more after the Olympic break. It's going to be very interesting. And, Michaela Onyenwere, she had a really great game. She had 20 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, and shot 8 of 13 from the field. I am just genuinely like, I think that there's a lot, like I said before, like there's bright spots for this team, and I'm really excited to see what they do. Other key takeaways, they out-rebounded the Fever, which helped a lot with their second chance points. They turned the ball over 15 times, unfortunately, and they didn't really have a lot of production from the bench, which isn't a huge deal. However, when the starters aren't having, like, amazing games or anything, like, it's kind of tough to, put a lot of pressure on the bench to produce, and it's a whole thing. But anywho, Rachel Banham, she had 14 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, and 2 steals. Now, she did shoot 5 of 15 from the field. However, I don't think you can really be mad at that, like, genuinely, just because she's, like, one of the only, like, true shooters on the team. So I think you take that and then you be happy with it. Angel had 10 points, 11 rebounds, 2 assists, and 1 steal. And Camila Cardozo had 6 points, 10 rebounds, 5 assists, and 1 block. Pretty good game from them, hoping to see them develop a little bit more. For the Fever, the pace of play for this team really makes them like a tough team to beat. And especially after the Olympic break, they've really like upped the pace. They're able to catch Caitlin's passes and all these things. They have really cleaned up their defense. And I think they're like in like their end of game management and stuff has also like really gotten a lot better. So congrats to Christy Sides, I guess. They shot better than the Sky this game and really got out in transition. They had 17 fast break points. Caitlin had a really great game. She had 31 points, 12 assists, 4 rebounds, and 1 steal. She had a really great shooting night as well. 5 of 9 from 3 and 8 of 24 from the field in total, but 10 of 11 from the free throw line. Kelsey Mitchell had a really great game as well, as always, honestly. Like, Kelsey, she don't really be... I actually don't remember the last time Kelsey had a low-scoring night. She had 23 points and shot 9 of 13 from the field. Nalissa Smith had 14 points and 7 rebounds and was 5 of 8 from the field. And Lexi Hull had 11 points, 3 rebounds, and 1 steal, and she shot 3 of 4 from the 3. Good game for them. Congrats to the Fever for winning that one. You guys did a good job. There was no Kennedy Carter, but hey, you guys still capitalized on the moment. For the next game, we have Lynx versus Wings, and the Wings won tragic. The Wings beat the Lynx 94-76. I watched this one. I remember nothing, but I watched the quick game to re-jog my memory. The Lynx turned the ball over a lot and just had like a rough game in general. Like I don't really know what it is, but I think like earlier this season there was a game when like they were still really injured and they played the Lynx, and it was like a really early game. Like the game came on at like 1 or 2 p.m. and I just remember the Wings basically, I won't say waxing the Lynx because that would be like an over exaggeration. However, they did beat them in like the fourth quarter, and like much of that had to do with Odyssey Sims' performance and really just their defense. So honestly, like whenever the Wings play the Lynx, I kind of just like expect there to be like a really decent battle. But this was kind of a shocking one for me. For the Lynx, Nafisa Collier had 17 points, 10 rebounds, 5 assists, and 2 blocks. Kayla McBride had 14 points and 2 assists. Bridget Carlton had 12 points, 7 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals, and 1 block. And Cecilia Zandalasini had 11 points. And also, if you guys don't know who Cecilia Zandalasini is, you need to lock in because she's honestly like she's so good. Like I went and I said I went to that Lynx versus Dream game, but she just like it's just so like her shot off the bounce, it's insane. Like she's a great 3-point shooter, but like just her ability to like kind of just I can't even explain it. You would just have to like watch her play and like watch some of her highlights, but she's a really great player and one of my favorites on the Lynx. So if you have not looked into her before, definitely do that and put some respect on her name. Anyways, for the Wings, Dallas's defense did a really great job of like just holding the Lynx back. I think their ball movement was really good. Like they were passing that ball, and a lot of people like to joke that like, oh, Dallas doesn't play defense, like it's just a very offensive minded team, but I feel like they did a really great job, especially against the Lynx, like to hold them to what was it, 76 points. They did a really great job, so nobody should be talking too much trash. Like I said, they beat them earlier on in the season, but watching them play, I think since finding out that I think they were still in the playoff conversation at the time of this game. I can't really remember, but even watching them back then and watching them after finding out that they're not going to be making the playoffs and like they don't really have a chance to make the playoffs has been really, really great. Like just to see like that this team is really special and they're just not trying to leave the season on a bad note. Like they're going out there every single night and they're playing their hardest. And I really love that. They're a very talented team on paper and like when you just watch them play. And I wish that we could have seen them like at their peak form this season, but I'm really, really, really hoping, fingers crossed, that they're able to keep Satu and she doesn't leave. But even if they do, I think that this team has like a lot of talent and they have like some younger players that are kind of up and coming, and I would really like to see, them make the playoffs next year. They made it last year. So hopefully, with the new additions and stuff, and we can see that again. I really hope Satu stays. I don't know if she will. Like, I think somebody might really offer her a lot of money to leave, but I hope she stays because I really want to see this team like play together because they looked really decent, especially in the back half of the season. I think they would have been able to do something really great had they been healthy the entire season. Anyways, this was overall just a really great shooting night for this team. They beat them in points in the paint 50-20. They beat them in fast break points 15-6, and they also beat them in second chance points 14-7. And they had 6 players in double figures. And I'm really happy for the Wings. Honestly, I'm really sad that like they beat my Lynx, but I still do love the Wings. They're a very gritty team, and I've been rooting for them all season. Rickea had 25 points, 8 assists, 4 rebounds, and shot 11-24 from the field. Satu Sabali had 18 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists, and 2 steals. Natasha Howard had 17 points, 5 rebounds, and 3 steals. Tierra McCowan had 11 points and 11 rebounds. Sev Uzin had 11 points, 4 rebounds, 4 steals, and shot 5 of 8 from the field. And Kalani Brown had 10 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, and 2 blocks. Honestly, once you list off the stats like that, it makes sense they won. It does. It really does. Happy for them regardless. The next game we have is, I just watched a quick game. I didn't even watch this one. Was Dream versus Aces. And actually, I did watch this one. I lied. For this game, there was no Jackie Young and there was no Tina Charles. The Aces won 83-72. The Dream just had a poor shooting night. They were 26 of 71 from the field. Alicia Gray had 17 points, 9 rebounds, 6 assists, and 2 blocks. Ryan Howard had 12 points, 4 rebounds, and Jordan Canada had 10 points and 5 assists. I think you could definitely tell that Tina Charles wasn't there, especially when it comes to like, being beat on the boards and stuff. But, they gave it their best, I guess. The Las Vegas Aces, Sydney Colson is getting some great minutes, and she's been facilitating very well. And just honestly, if you've never seen Sydney Colson like in her amazing passes like throughout the years that she's been with the Aces, definitely go check those out because she be cooking. And honestly, if you don't feel like going to check them out on like YouTube or something, you can definitely find them on the Las Vegas Aces page on Instagram and on Twitter because they're always posting her little passes, and she's been doing really amazing these past few games, and I'm glad she's getting minutes. Again, don't know why Becky wasn't letting that lady play, but hey, I'm gonna mind my business because I will say though, ever since Sydney started getting some good minutes or minutes at all, this team has really turned around, and you can noticeably tell that their defense is getting better. So honestly, a win is a win. Even if it took them a little bit later in the season to kind of get on their grind, it's okay because I'm pretty sure they haven't lost a game since this one. I could be wrong though. I don't really remember. Anyways, they outscored the Dream every quarter. Asia Wilson had 26 points, 16 rebounds, 5 assists, 5 blocks, and shot 9 of 17 from the field. That's the MVP, mind you. She just hit 1,000 points tonight on one of the games they had tonight. I don't even remember who they played. Let me see. Now, hold on. They played... That's not the one. They played not the Fever. Today's Sunday. They played the Sun, and she got 1,000 points. Honestly, happy for her. Clap it up. Clap it up. And we'll mention that again later on. Anyways, Asia Wilson played a really great game this one. I mean, there's never a time when Asia doesn't cook. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, Tiffany Hayes had a really great game. She had 20 points, 10 rebounds, and shot 8 of 12 from the field and 3 of 4 from the three. Honestly, sometimes when I think about Tiffany Hayes or like even just like watch her play, I'm like, I can't believe that like she had retired and wasn't playing at all. Like, it honestly just seems so... It just doesn't seem fathomable just because she's been playing at such a high caliber like throughout the season. And I think she's up for 6th player of the year, so hopefully she gets that. Anywho, Kelsey Plum had 18 points and 4 assists. I don't remember exactly what her shooting from the field was, but I think you do want her to be a little bit more efficient. But however, she is definitely playing a lot better than she was like in the past couple of weeks, so I'll take it. A win is a win. Thank you, KP, for those 18 points. Anywho, next game we have is Liberty versus Storm. The Liberty won 98-85. The Storm, honestly, they had a really great start. They had a 6-0 run at the beginning, and they forced 16 turnovers, but they held their own at certain points in the game. Unfortunately, they just weren't able to win this one. Skylar Diggins had 26 points and 7 assists. Jewel Lloyd had 20 points. Nneka had 15 points, 7 rebounds, 3 steals, and 3 assists. And honestly, I think for the Storm, I think Gabby Williams at the beginning, like especially like this during this week, to me, I think she was still just kind of trying to find her role on the team. And, like, I don't think that anybody that's like comes onto a team and just automatically just starts putting up like 20 points. So I think she was really just trying to find her footing at this time. But she was still playing really amazing defense, passing the ball, being selfless, facilitating well, playmaking. And definitely by the end of the week when they play the Liberty a second time, you can definitely see that jump of like her knowing what her role is and kind of like really like being more offensive minded. So honestly, this game I think would have been a little bit more winnable if, Gabby was, being a little bit more offensive. However, I don't think anybody just comes onto a team and just automatically knows what their role is. But I think it says a lot about her, taking that step back and not like doing like too much and kind of just like, I'm going to just pass the ball, facilitate here and there, and then let the game come to me. And I think that has done her really well. If I recall correctly, the Storm have definitely won a lot of their games more recently, and I think that a lot of that has to do with Gabby being a little bit more aggressive offensively. So it's really great that she's finding her footing. And the Storm, they did their best this game. They really did. For the Liberty, they went on an 11-0 run at the beginning of the fourth quarter. And truly after that, at that point, I fear the Storm weren't really going to beat them. They out-rebounded the Storm 45-17. So much to think about there. They shot the three very well. 46% to the Storm's 21%. Breanna Stewart had 32 points and 6 assists and shot 10 of 16 from the field. Sabrina Ionescu had, I hope I said that girl's name right. Sabrina had 25 points, 8 rebounds, and 8 assists. And Jonquel had 6 points, 11 rebounds, and 2 blocks. Good game from their little big three. On Saturday, we only had one game. Thank goodness. I didn't watch this one. I watched the quick game, so good stuff. The Sun won 96-85. I don't think that that's too shocking. Also, y'all are never going to hear me talk too much trash about the Mystics. You know, I really turned a corner after the beginning of the season, but also I definitely may or may not have told Aaliyah Edwards that the Girls Like Who's podcast is really great. Keep that in mind. Anywho, for the Sun, Marina Mabrey had 21 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists, and 2 steals, and she shot 5 of 7 from the three. Dijonai Carrington had 17 points, 4 rebounds, 4 steals, and 1 block, and shot 3 of 4 from three. Ty Harris had 16 points, 6 assists, 5 rebounds, and 2 steals. DeWanna Bonner had 16 points, and Brianna Jones had 12 points and 5 rebounds. For the Mystics, Stef Dolson honestly she's been super efficient this season, and unless you watch Mystics games, you don't really ever hear about it. She had 14 points, 7 rebounds, shot 5 of 6 from the field and 4 of 5 from three. Ariel Atkins had 15 points and shot 6 of 10 from the field. Emily Engstler had 12 points and shot 5 of 7 from the field. And Aaliyah Edwards had 9 points, 6 rebounds, and shot 4 of 6 from the field. Honestly, the Mystics, they be doing their big one, I think anytime when Brittany Sykes doesn't really have, a big game, or Carly Samuelson doesn't really have, a big game, I think they usually typically don't win those, but, they're out here trying. Can't do too much on them. On Sunday, we had 5 games. The first was Storm versus Sun. Unfortunately for me, the Sun won 93-86. This was a really close game, okay? I think what's really fun about this matchup is, to me, the Sun and the Storm do a lot of the same things very well. So, to me, they play very cohesive defense, and so that makes them, fairly evenly matched. So everything, when they match up together or play against each other, comes down to defending without fouling and stopping the other team on defense. And unfortunately, I think the Sun went to the free throw line 38 times. And again, that's one of the reasons that I don't really enjoy watching the Sun, just because it's just too, the stoppage of play is just too much for me, but also, it's just not really fun to watch a team go to the free throw line 38 times. That's not fun for me, but, the Sun did their big one, I guess. They just outshot them, and to be fair, I think the Sun do shoot better than the Storm. The Storm have really great defense, but there are times when the offense doesn't really match that same defensive intensity. Brianna Jones for the Sun had 26 points, 6 rebounds, 1 assist, and 2 blocks, and she shot 9 of 13 from the field. Dijonai Carrington had 14 points, 3 rebounds, 3 steals, and shot 6 of 9 from the field. Marina had 15 points. Ty Harris had 13 points, 4 rebounds, and shot 4 of 6 from the field. And I wanted to give an honorable mention to Veronica Burton. She had 11 points and 2 steals, but I really enjoyed watching her minutes here and there more recently. I don't watch a lot of the Sun. I watch the games, but sometimes I don't really be paying attention for real. But Veronica Burton, whenever she comes out on the floor, to me, she always gives you quick impact minutes off the bench. So shout out to Veronica Burton. Respect her. For the Storm, Jewel Lloyd had 27 points, 5 rebounds, and 3 steals. Nneka had 20 points, 11 rebounds, 2 steals, and shot 7 of 15 from the field. Skylar Diggins-Smith had 16 points, 6 assists, and 2 steals. Ezzy Magbagor had 13 points and 7 rebounds. Decent game from, that core 4 situation. Again, this was just leading up to Gabby Williams being a little bit more aggressive offensively. Next game we have is Sky versus Lynx. Honestly, the Sky held their own considering there was no Kennedy Carter and they were playing against the Lynx. So the Lynx won 79-74. For the Lynx, Dorka got the start in place of Alana Smith. I think she was out with like an ankle injury or something. They forced 21 turnovers from the Sky. Courtney Williams gave you 22 points, 6 assists, 3 rebounds, and 2 steals, and she shot 11 of 16 from the field. Kayla McBride had 17 points and 3 assists. Nafisa Collier had 15 points, 5 rebounds, 2 steals, and 2 blocks. And Bridget Carlton and Dorka Juhas combined for 14 points, 11 rebounds, and 7 assists. For the Sky, some key takeaways were just they beat the Lynx in the paint 42-26, which is honestly a lot. I'm trying to think about that makes sense. It's an interesting matchup in the paint. Anywho, they out-rebounded them 38-24, and I really do think that the Sky could have won this game. They came back and tied the game up, but I think the turnovers in general just kind of killed them, like turning the ball over 21 times. Isn't exactly going to help you. But hey, still a rebuild team. Can't do too much on them. And also they only shot 9 threes, which again, this isn't a shooting team, but I think that you do still have to shoot those threes regardless of whether or not you think you're going to make them just to stay in the game. Camilla gave you 22 points, 9 rebounds, and shot 7 of 11 from the field. Pretty efficient night for her. Angel Reese had 17 points, 19 rebounds, 3 assists, and 2 steals, and Michaela Onyenwere had 15 points. Pretty okay game from those 3. Next game we have is Fever versus Wings. The Fever won 100-93, and there were 20 lead changes overall. The Fever beat them in the paint 38-24. They outshot them as well. Caitlin had 28 points, 12 assists, 4 rebounds, and shot 10 of 19 from the field. Kelsey Mitchell, respect her, gave you 36 points, 6 rebounds, and 3 assists, shot 12 of 22 from the field, and shot 5 of 7 from 3. Melissa Smith had a good game with 14 points, 8 rebounds, 3 blocks, and 2 steals, and shot 7 of 12 from the field. For the Wings, they forced 20 turnovers from the Fever. However, they just weren't able to get the win. Rickea had 34 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists, and shot 12 of 25 from the field. Satu Sabali had 25 points, 4 rebounds, and 2 steals. Natasha Howard had 18 points, 5 rebounds, 9 assists, and 2 steals. And Tierra McCowan had 5 points, 11 rebounds, and 4 assists. And I wanted to give an honorable mention to my good sister, and who could have been the Rookie of the Year, JC Sheldon, for her 8 points, 4 assists, and 3 steals. That girl is always out there giving you the best. Clap it up for JC. Yes, clap it up for her. Next game we have is Aces versus Mercury. Did I watch this game? Nope, didn't. Crazy. And you can tell too. The Aces won 97-79. Asia Wilson gave you 41 points, 17 rebounds, 2 steals, and shot 16 of 23 from the field. That's the MVP right there, mind you. That's a good stat line. Kelsey Plum gave you 16 points and 5 assists. Jackie Young gave you 11 points, 14 assists, and 3 steals. Dang, 14 assists is crazy. Tiffany Hayes had 11 points and 5 rebounds. Good for them. Clap it up. Clap it up for those aces. For the Mercury, another 10-point quarter. Why does that not surprise me, Nate? Honestly, Nate, I'm going to tell you this, and I really mean it. You better be glad that I don't own the Mercury. I fear. Just be grateful. Be glad, sir. No shade, but you'd be searching for that job. I fear you'd be searching. Anyways, Brittany Griner gave you 24 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, and shot 10 of 13 from the field. Good game for her. Very great. Kalia Copper had 15 points and 6 rebounds. Sophie Cunningham had 16 points. And here's the thing. I've said it before. I'll say it again. The Mercury will never win certain games, if Kalia Copper is not the best player, you know, if it's like a good, like a matchup where Brittany Griner, where it's okay for Brittany to have like the most points and everything, that's fine, you know. Sometimes when it comes to, especially when it came to the Atlanta Dream, when they played them, or when they do play them, it makes sense for BG to have so many points because it is like definitely played through BG, because BG and Tina Charles is a really great matchup. And also, Brittany Griner is typically the biggest person on the floor, like the tallest person on the floor. So it makes sense for her to put up big points like that. But Ka's got to come through. She's got to come through. 97-79. Somebody has to step up. You know, somebody has to step up. And they were the only 3 players who had double figures that game. So something to work on, Nate. The next game we have is Dream versus Sparks. The Dream won 80-62. Unfortunately, a really tough night for the Sparks. I'm going to start with them because they just... I hope y'all get Paige Beckers. I really do, because there's talent here. The Sparks are gritty. They never go out without a fight, but they do need work. They do need help. Leah Rue had 14 points and 3 rebounds. Rickea Jackson had 13 points, 4 rebounds, and 3 assists. This team is very injured, and so it's tough for me to really like sit here and be like, hey, you guys have a lot of work to do. I need to see better. At the same time, though, I'm going to be so honest with you. Leah Rue cannot be one of your best players on the court. She can't be. With De'Erica Hamby and Ray Burrell and some other key pieces, like, Leah Rue cannot be that one. You know what I'm saying? She can't be that one. I'm going to let y'all slide because, like I said, you're injured, you're hurting. I'm going to give it to you, but damn. We have work to do, Kurt. Anyways, for the Dream, Tina Charles gave you 23 points, 10 rebounds, and shot 11 of 17 from the field. Ryan Howard had 19 points, 7 rebounds, 2 blocks, and shot 7 of 16 from the field, 5 of 9 from 3. Alicia Gray had 12 points, 4 rebounds, and 3 assists. Naz Hillman had 10 points, 9 rebounds, and 4 assists. Really great win from that little core 4 there. Really great for them. Again, Sparks, you have work to do, okay? On Tuesday, we had 4 games. First was Storm versus Sun, and the Storm won this one, okay? This was that game when Gabby really started turning it up a notch, okay? Being a little bit more aggressive offensively, which you do like to see. The Sun were winning for most of the first half, and then the Storm came back after the halftime, and they really just started taking over. Gabby Williams was noticeably more aggressive, searching for her shot this game. Jewel Lloyd had 17 points, 5 rebounds, and 4 assists. Skylar Diggins-Smith had 18 points, 4 rebounds, and 3 assists. Nneka had 14 points and 6 rebounds. Gabby Williams had 11 points, 6 rebounds, and 5 assists. And an honorable mention to Jordan Horston, who had 5 points, 2 steals, and 3 blocks. Their defense was just really great this game. I don't really remember how many times the Sun went to the free throw line this time. I didn't write it down. That's my bad on that. But DeWanna Bonner had a really great night. She had 26 points and 7 rebounds and shot 4 of 7 from 3. And this was one of her best performances this season in a while. So congrats to DeWanna Bonner. Brianna Jones, again, another anchor that we have to respect. She gave you 21 points, 4 rebounds, and shot 8 of 11 from the field. Marina had an off night, which is another reason why I think that they lost this game. But hey, anything that allows the Storm to win, you'll never hear me complaining. The next game we had was Mystics versus Wings. The Mystics won 90-86. For the Mystics, the bench had a lot of production this game, and I think was like a big reason why they won. Emily Engstler had 19 points, 10 rebounds, and 3 blocks. Ariel Atkins had 14 points, 3 rebounds, and 2 blocks. For the Wings, Rickea had 21 points and 4 assists. Tierra McCowan had 20 points and 13 rebounds. Natasha Howard had 14 points, 7 rebounds. Satu had 12 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists, and 3 blocks. JC Sheldon had 6 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, and 2 blocks. And Kalani Brown had 10 points. Dang, the Mystics still won? Yep. Damn. That is crazy. Those stats go really crazy. Anywho, next game we have is Sky versus Aces. The Aces won 90-71, and I was very happy, honestly, to see the Aces are kind of like cooking. You know, they've gone on a little winning streak, and I'm really happy for them because things were looking pretty bad for them. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I'm never gonna count them out, and I've said that a few times on the podcast. But damn, I'm not gonna lie. It was looking pretty bad. I won't deny the truth. It was looking pretty bad. Anyways, for the Aces, their defense forced 17 turnovers from the Sky. There was no Kelsey Plum playing this game, but honestly, a lot of people stepped up this game. A'ja Wilson had 30 points, 14 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals, and 3 blocks, and shot 10 of 19 from the field. MVP. Tiffany Hayes got the start in place of Kelsey Plum, and she gave you 20 points, 4 assists, and 3 rebounds. She was really cooking this night, okay? Tiffany Hayes deserves 6th Player of the Year. Jackie Young had 15 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists, and 2 steals. Jackie, I think, is back and better. I knew it's going to take a little time to cook, but Jackie is here, and she's awake, and she's alive. Chelsea Gray had 13 points, 10 assists, 3 steals, and 1 block. Everything is really coming together for this Aces team, okay? Jackie is really getting back in there. Kelsey's getting in there. Tiffany Hayes giving you that spark. You've got A'ja Wilson always giving you an MVP level performance. And you have Chelsea Gray back giving you double-doubles, okay? Things are coming together for the Aces. They are. People should be afraid still. I know that things were getting a little iffy at the beginning of the season, but they're back. They're back, they're better, and they're stronger. For the Sky, still no Kennedy Carter. But Michaela Onyenwere was out here, and she gave you 15 points, okay? She was a perfect 3 of 3 from the 3, and 6 of 10 from the field. Camila Cardozo had 14 points, 3 assists, and 3 steals. Angel Reese had 12 points, 16 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals. And Dana Evans gave you a solid 13 points. Congrats to her. Next game we have is Dream versus Mercury. Mercury won 74-66. There was no Natasha Cloud this game because of the technical foul situation. Y'all know I've been talking all season that the Mercury need to stay poised. And that's going to be their biggest downfall. And luckily, they won this game, honestly. For the Mercury, they out-rebounded the Dream, okay? Celeste Taylor got the start, as she deserves. You already know I'm going to sit here and give Celeste Taylor her flowers. Let me just say this. Celeste Taylor was down on the ground, okay? She was hustling out there. She has that dog in her. Like, she was on the floor rolling around for the ball. She's real, okay? She was out there rebounding and stealing and doing what she needed to do for those 32 minutes she was out there on the floor, okay? And y'all know I'm never going to give Nate Tibbetts a pat on the back. I'm never going to give him his 10s because he really deserves those 10s. But you know what? I have to give it to him with trusting Celeste Taylor, okay? I have to give it to him on that. Honestly, Celeste Taylor is giving me flashes of Natasha Cloud. Honestly. I'm going to let that sit. Celeste Taylor's on the come up, okay? Somebody needs to sign her and give that girl her money come next season. Kalia Copper had 28 points, 4 assists, 3 rebounds. Brittany Griner had 16 points, 8 rebounds, and 4 assists. And Diana Taurasi had 13 points, 5 assists, and 3 rebounds. Good win for them. For the Dream, they forced 17 turnovers from the Mercury. They were within 4 points with 6 minutes left in the game, but they weren't able to close the gap and win it. Ryan Howard had a really great game. She gave you 31 points, 4 rebounds, and 2 steals, and she shot 11 of 24 from the field and 6 of 15 from the 3. Tina Charles gave you 12 points, 12 rebounds, and 2 blocks, and Jordan Canada gave you 7 points, 6 assists, 4 rebounds, and 3 steals. This next one, on Wednesday, we had one game, and it was Sparks versus Fever. And obviously, the Fever won 93-86. You hate to see that for the Sparks, but you know what? It's okay. It's okay because y'all coming back stronger next season, okay? And if not next year, then in the next year, okay? Because the Sparks, something to be afraid of. They have a lot of talent. They just need the platform. Anyways, for the Sparks, they were out-rebounded by the Fever 40-28. Odyssey Sims went out there and gave you 20 points, 6 assists, and 2 steals. Okay. Somebody's going to have to sign her next season, I fear. She's done nothing but come on these teams and help them succeed. So somebody's going to have to respect her in a minute. Dearica Hamby gave you 16 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists, and 3 steals. Ray Burrell gave you 16 points, 3 assists, 2 steals, and 1 block, and shot 6 of 10 from the field. One thing about Ray Burrell, that she's going to give you those immediate impact minutes off the bench, okay? And honestly, I really hope to see Ray Burrell play more minutes, or the same amount of minutes that she's had this season, next season. Even with, people coming back and getting more healthy. I think the Sparks team, they have, like I said, they have a lot of hidden gems here, and I'm ready to see everything come together. This was a much better team game performance than the other one the other day, because that wasn't very. Azariah Stevens gave you 13 points and 11 rebounds, and she shot 3 of 6 from the 3. Kia Nurse, let me just say this. Kurt, thank you for finally letting my good sister play. I really appreciate that. She gave you 13 points, and she had 10 points in 10 minutes. So thank you, Kurt. Everybody say thank you, Kurt. Yes, Kurt. It's about time you let that girl play, because she played really well for the Canadian team, and Kurt just never lets that lady shine. Okay. For the Fever, I don't really have much to say. Did I watch this game? I'm trying to think. I did watch it. Okay. That's crazy. For the Fever, Aaliyah Boston gave you 24 points, 14 rebounds, and 4 assists, and was 10 of 16 from the field. Caitlin Clark had 24 points, 10 rebounds, 10 assists, okay, triple-double, and 3 steals. Kelsey Mitchell had 18 points, 4 rebounds, and 2 assists, and Alyssa Smith had 13 points and 4 rebounds. Good game for them. Good game for them. On Thursday, we had 2 games. This was the last day. Thank God. Short episode. Thank you. Mostly because I didn't really have anything to say. I'm sorry. I'm going to be better this next episode. We hope. Fingers crossed. Don't stop listening, because it was kind of boring. Shh. Don't stop listening. Don't stop listening. Don't tell anybody. Okay. On Thursday, we had 2 games. The first being Storm versus Liberty. I actually watched this one. Liberty won 77-70. For the Storm, some key takeaway from the game. Truly, Gabby Williams is too nice, okay? The Storm may have lost this game, but Gabby Williams is really coming into her own, okay? This might sound crazy, but I think Gabby Williams just might be the best defender in the league. Yeah. And even beyond that, just her play style in general is really great. Her playmaking, the ball pressure is top notch, and someone needs to throw her a bag next season. And honestly, I'd really love to see her stay with Seattle. However, if somebody else is offering her a lot of money, I hope that she gets that money, because she deserves it. But honestly, this is not a player that I think you want to lose, so hopefully the Storm throw money her way. She had 17 points, 5 assists, and 4 rebounds, and shot 8 of 13 from the field. Skylar Diggins-Smith had a really great game. She had 21 points, 6 assists, 4 rebounds, 2 steals, and 2 blocks, and shot 4 of 7 from the 3. Esli Magbagor gave you 13 points, 7 rebounds, and 4 blocks. And to me personally, Jewel had a tough game, this one. But I feel like if she had like a better shooting night, I think they really could have won this game. Or if not won, it would have been like within like maybe 1 or 2 points. But you know what? Jewel went out there and she gave it her best. And I can never be mad at that. I can never be mad at that. For the Liberty, they won, like I had said. But Najalini Hamilton was the player of the game, okay? She had 18 points, 6 rebounds, and 3 assists. And she shot 7 of 14 from the field. Sabrina had 17 points, 8 assists, and 6 rebounds. And Jonquel Jones gave you 15 points, 8 rebounds, and 5 blocks. Brianna Stewart gave you 14 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists, and 3 blocks. And Leona Phoebish had a really great night with 5 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists, and 3 steals. You hate to see that. I hope they don't win a championship. All right. Last game was the Mystics versus Mercury, and the Mystics won 90-77. You guys know who I'm looking at. Nate. Anyways, for the Mystics, I really liked seeing Aaliyah Edwards and Emily Engstler on the floor together. I feel like that's a really great duo, but also I'm really excited to see how that develops in the coming years. Julie Van Lowe was cooking this game. And truthfully, I've said this before, but the arch on her shot is just absolutely chef's kiss. Like, if you've never seen Julie Van Lowe shoot that ball, you need to go check that out. The Mystics got 22 points off of the Mercury turnovers, which is a lot. So, maybe we have some things to work on, Nate. Carly Samuelson got elbowed in the face this game by Kalia Copper. And honestly, like, the knot on her head was quite large. And for me personally, she has that dog in her, because after that, she went, what was it? She went 5 of 5 from 3. Gave you 19 points and 3 assists. And me personally, if I just got hit in the head by somebody's elbow and I had a knot forming on my head, I would have had to sit out for the rest of the game. You know, get that ice pack on it and really just sit back and catch my breath. But she went out there and hooped. So congrats to them. She came back out there for revenge, I think. You know, she laughed it off, but we know what was really going on in her head. Anyways, Brittany Sykes gave you 14 points, 4 rebounds, and 3 assists. Julie Van Lowe gave you 13 points, 4 assists, 3 rebounds. Emily Engstler gave you 10 points, 4 rebounds, 3 steals, and 2 blocks. And Aaliyah Edwards gave you 6 points, 6 rebounds, and shot 3 of 6 from the field. Clap it up for the Mystics, okay? Good performance for them. For the Mercury, I think in the offseason, I would really like to see Nate really work on, or really not even the offseason. I don't really know when you work on this, but I would really like to see Nate call better, like, challenges next season, or, like, whatever happens next for him. Because to me, like, I think when he called the challenges game, it was unsuccessful, but also it was a stupid challenge. No shade, no shade. But for me personally, I really enjoyed Celeste Taylor's minutes this game. Her confidence is really growing, and I will only ever give Nate his props on playing her. That is the absolute only thing I will ever give him props on. I'll give him a pat on the back for that, but nothing else, because Nate, we have things to work on, okay? We have things to work on. Brittany Griner gave you 15 points, 5 rebounds, and 2 assists. Natasha Cloud gave you 13 points, 5 assists. Kalia Copper gave you 11 points, 5 rebounds, and 2 assists. Monique Billings gave you 10 points, 7 rebounds, 2 steals, and 3 blocks. And Celeste Taylor gave you 6 points, 6 assists, and 2 steals. Honorable mention to Natasha Mack for her 9 rebounds. Honorable mention. Side note, again, Ka has to be the best player on the floor. She has to be. She has to be. Anywho, this was really cool, guys. Quick little episode for you. I'm sorry if it was boring. I'm doing the best that I can. It's 5 a.m. on a Monday. I'm gonna go to sleep because I have to go to work later. This episode will probably be up. I want to say it'll be up Tuesday morning or afternoon. Fingers crossed. Hopefully, when I leave work on Monday, I'll edit this and then upload it. And everything will be great and fine. And it'll be up to you on Tuesday. Anywho, I guess I'll see you guys, because I do have to go and I have to watch the games for the next episode. And really catch up for this week's, because, you know, this one would have been up this weekend. Anyways, I'm going to lock in on these. How many games is this? Is this 17? 5? 9? 12, 15, 16, 17, 17 games this next week. I think I watched some of these. I know I definitely went to one, so don't have to worry about that one. Am I right? Okay. But yeah, I'll come back and I'll be better. I'll be stronger, and I'll see you guys on the next one, which is hopefully going to be around Thursday. Okay. I'm going to try to keep my word on that. I'm going to see you guys. Okay.